Have you ever stood in your kitchen, looked around, and thought, this place doesn't work for me the way it used to? Maybe the counters feel a bit too high now, or the light over the stove isn't quite bright enough anymore. Perhaps the stairs that once felt like nothing now take more effort than you expected. These aren't signs of weakness. They're simply reminders that our homes, like our lives, evolve, and they should change along with us. It's a funny thing. We spend our whole lives making a house into a home, painting the walls, collecting memories, creating routines that make us feel safe and grounded. But what we don't always realize is that our homes need to support who we are now, not who we used to be. And as we age, that support looks a little different than it did 10 or 20 years ago. It's not about giving up independence. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's about making your space work with you so you can continue living fully, comfortably, and with confidence. There's something so empowering about taking control of your surroundings. Imagine being able to move freely through your home without second-guessing every step. No more worrying about that corner rug slipping out from under you. No more awkward reach to get your favorite coffee mug. No more avoiding a room because it's just a little too dark or cramped. These may sound like small things, but over time, they add up. They shape how we feel about our space, and by extension, how we feel about ourselves in it. One of the most important things to consider is how your daily routines flow. The things you do every morning, every evening, even during the quiet hours of the afternoon, these moments should feel effortless, not strained. You shouldn't have to think twice about getting dressed, making tea, or heading to the bathroom in the middle of the night. But often, what once felt automatic starts to feel clumsy as our needs shift. The key is not to push through discomfort, but to make your environment respond better to what you need now. Think about the places in your home where you spend the most time. It could be your favorite chair in the living room, your kitchen nook where you read the paper, or that cozy spot by the window where you sip your evening tea. These are the places where comfort should feel natural. But if that chair is too low or too soft, if that table feels too far to reach, or if the light just isn't right for reading anymore, it's worth adjusting. And no, it doesn't mean throwing everything out and starting fresh. Sometimes all it takes is a cushion, a new lamp, or shifting a table by a few inches to make things feel easier again. Safety and comfort are two sides of the same coin. One without the other doesn't quite work. You might have grab bars in the bathroom, but if the room still feels cold or unwelcoming, you're not going to enjoy being there. Or maybe you've got a cozy armchair, but the clutter around it makes it hard to get up without knocking something over. These little mismatches in your space can create stress without you even realizing it. The goal isn't perfection, it's peace of mind. It's walking into every room in your home and knowing it supports you, not challenges you. There's something deeply personal about adjusting your space. Every corner holds a memory. Every item tells a story. That's why changes need to feel like enhancements, not disruptions. You're not erasing the past. You're honoring it by creating a home that respects where you are now. That might mean bringing in a bench where you can sit to put on your shoes more comfortably, or installing a handrail along the hallway you walk every day, or even just rearranging the layout so you don't have to maneuver around tight corners. These decisions are about making your home say, "I've got you." What matters most is that these changes help you live with greater ease and dignity. They give you the freedom to focus on the moments that truly matter, the conversations, the hobbies, the rest and reflection, instead of constantly managing discomfort or risk. When your home works with you, not against you, everything becomes a little lighter. Tasks feel less draining. Your energy stretches further, and you feel more in control of your day. It's not uncommon to feel hesitant about making changes. Maybe you're worried about cost, or you don't want to feel like your space is becoming a medical room. But adapting your home doesn't mean giving it a clinical feel. It's about layering in thoughtful improvements that blend with your life. A stylish railing can be just as beautiful as it is functional. A better mattress can improve your sleep without changing the entire look of your bedroom. It's all about blending support with style, comfort with grace. And sometimes it helps to ask for fresh eyes. Inviting a friend or family member to walk through your space with you might uncover things you've grown used to, but could be improved. They might notice the loose carpet edge near the doorway, or how your kitchen tools are stored just out of reach. These aren't criticisms. They're opportunities to make life smoother. You don't need to do it all at once. Just one change at a time, each one creating more ease than before. Sometimes the smallest details in a home hold the greatest potential to make life easier. It might be something you walk past every day without thinking twice, a narrow hallway that makes carrying laundry feel like a balancing act, a door handle that's stiff and awkward to turn, or a mirror that's just a bit too high to use comfortably. These little things might not demand attention right away, but over time, they can shape how much effort even the simplest tasks begin to require. What helps is imagining your home not as a fixed space, but as something adaptable. A place that bends a little here and stretches a little there to meet you where you are. That flexibility might show up in unexpected places. A light switch that used to be easy to reach may now be too low or too high, especially if joint pain or stiffness comes into play. Repositioning it or switching to touchless lighting might feel like a luxury, but it's really an investment in your daily comfort. It's easy to overlook how something as routine as preparing a meal can feel different with age. The height of the countertop, the weight of a pot, the distance between the sink and the stove, all of these influence how manageable that task feels. If standing for long periods has become tiring, adding a sturdy chair to your kitchen space can be a game changer. Being able to chop vegetables or stir a pot while seated not only protects your energy, but allows you to enjoy the process again instead of simply enduring it. Sometimes it's the entryway to your home that needs a second look. The threshold you've stepped over for years without issue might now pose a subtle trip hazard. If the lighting near your front door casts more shadow than light, it could make navigating that space in the evening more uncertain than it used to be. Even the presence of a single step without support can become a concern when your balance isn't what it once was. Adding a small ramp, an extra railing, or a motion sensor light can quietly transform that area from something you navigate carefully to something you move through with ease. Bathrooms, too, often carry risks that aren't obvious until something goes wrong. While we already think of features like grab rails or non-slip mats, there are other subtle changes that make a big difference. A handheld shower head can turn what used to be an awkward reach into something manageable. A bench in the shower makes the experience safer, but it also brings back a sense of ease and calm to what should be a soothing ritual. Replacing a low toilet seat with a higher, more supportive one isn't about weakness. It's about restoring independence and preserving dignity. Storage is another area that can quietly challenge you as you age. If reaching high shelves or bending to access low drawers has become difficult, there's no shame in rethinking where things live. Keeping the items you use most often within arm's reach, not too low, not too high, can make the entire day flow more smoothly. There's something deeply satisfying about being able to open a drawer or cabinet and find what you need without effort or strain. That ease gives back more than convenience. It restores a sense of control. Even something as ordinary as your flooring plays a role in how freely and confidently you move about. Carpets that once felt soft underfoot can now make walking feel unsure. Area rugs that used to warm a room can now pose a tripping hazard. Switching to smooth, even flooring that allows a cane, walker, or wheelchair to glide easily across the surface doesn't take away from the coziness of a space, it adds to its reliability. A home that lets you move without second-guessing every step feels safer and, more importantly, more empowering. Windows often get overlooked, but natural light is a powerful ally in aging comfortably. Brighter spaces lift the mood, reduce eye strain, and make everyday tasks easier to manage. If you've noticed yourself squinting more or finding certain rooms uninviting, it may be time to rethink your lighting setup. Sometimes it's as simple as rearranging the furniture to bring your favorite chair closer to the window. Other times, a brighter lamp with an adjustable arm can restore a room to a place of comfort and clarity. Light doesn't just illuminate the space. It brings warmth, visibility, and a sense of openness that's easy to underestimate until it's improved. Another part of adapting your home is being honest with yourself about which parts of it still serve your needs and which might need to evolve. There may be rooms you no longer use or sections of the house that feel more like storage than living space. Clearing out items that no longer serve you, repurposing spaces into something more usable, or even simplifying how many rooms you regularly occupy can help you reclaim energy and reduce overwhelm. A home doesn't have to be big to feel rich with possibility. It only needs to be aligned with your life as it is now. You may find that letting go of old items or routines opens up space for something new. A guest room that's rarely used can become a craft space, a reading corner, or a calm place for stretching and rest. The hallway that was once a cluttered walkway can turn into a display area for photos that lift your spirit every time you pass. Adapting your home isn't just about reducing risk, it's about enhancing the experience of living there. There's a kind of peace that comes from walking through your home without needing to think twice. When everything is where it belongs, when your body feels supported with every movement, and when no part of the space works against you. That's the goal we're after. It isn't about making things look modern or trendy. It's about making things feel right in a way that allows you to breathe easier and move more freely. Many people don't realize that the layout of a room can shape your energy. When pathways are too narrow, or when you find yourself zigzagging just to get from one end of the space to the other, it wears on you. It's not just about convenience. It's about the feeling of constantly navigating obstacles. You deserve an environment that flows. Shifting furniture, creating clear, open walkways, and minimizing visual clutter can turn even a familiar room into something that feels newly supportive. Another place that deserves attention is where you sleep. Your bedroom isn't just a place to rest. It's a sanctuary, one that should feel as safe at midnight as it does in the middle of the day. The bed should be a height that feels natural, not something you struggle to get in and out of. The blankets, the lighting, even the distance to the nearest outlet where you might charge your phone or plug in a light, these little factors influence how restful your nights become. A well-prepared bedroom isn't just more comfortable. It supports deeper rest, which then makes every part of your waking day more manageable. Let's talk about sound for a moment because it's something we often take for granted. Over time, changes in hearing can turn a once peaceful home into something that feels disjointed or confusing. You might miss a knock at the door or feel uncertain when someone calls from another room. Adding simple tools like amplified doorbells or intercoms between rooms can help restore confidence. These adjustments aren't just about technology. They're about staying connected inside your own space. In some cases, it helps to think not just about the present, but the near future. Planning ahead isn't being negative. It's being wise. If you think stairs might become difficult in a year or two, considering a stair lift or relocating your most used items to the main level now can prevent sudden stress later. If your vision is changing, choosing bolder, more contrasting colors for steps or furniture edges can give you more visual cues. These aren't signs of giving in. They're acts of empowerment, thoughtful choices that allow you to stay ahead of your needs. Something many people find helpful as they reshape their homes is creating moments of familiarity in new arrangements. If you're moving furniture, for example, keeping a cherished lamp in its usual spot or placing a favorite photo where it always sits helps maintain a sense of grounding. These anchors keep you connected to your space even as it changes. That way, nothing feels foreign, it just feels better. It's also worth considering how the people around you interact with your space. If grandchildren visit, for example, making room for safe play in a common area can keep everyone more relaxed. If friends stop by often, adding an extra chair with good back support makes gatherings more comfortable. You're not just adapting your home for yourself. You're shaping it to support the relationships that matter. And that adds a layer of warmth and purpose to every change you make. Technology, while it sometimes feels overwhelming, can offer helpful options if chosen thoughtfully. Devices that allow you to adjust lights or temperature with your voice or a remote can remove the need to constantly get up and down. If you've ever wished the lights could dim without crossing the room, or the heat could be adjusted from your bed, these tools quietly support your autonomy. You don't need to learn every feature. Just knowing a few functions that help your day go more smoothly is enough. Storage that fits your current rhythm is another way to support ease. Drawers that glide open with little resistance, pull-out shelves and deep cabinets, or containers with clear lids can all help you keep your essentials within easy reach. These aren't about organizing for the sake of tidiness. They're about creating a home where you don't have to strain, guess, or dig to find what you need. When everything has a place, and that place feels accessible, it reduces the mental clutter as well as the physical. Even your doorways can tell a story. If they're too narrow, moving from room to room might feel like a negotiation with the walls. Expanding them slightly, or using pocket doors that slide instead of swing, can make a home feel more open and welcoming. These changes, though small in appearance, send a message. You're preparing your home to continue growing with you. Perhaps one of the most encouraging parts of adapting your space is how quickly it begins to feel like an act of self-respect. You start to notice how much better you sleep when your room is laid out with intention. You feel more at ease when daily tasks stop demanding so much effort. And somewhere along the way, you realize that these choices aren't about aging at all. They're about honoring the life you've built and making sure the space around you rises to meet your needs, not the other way around. There comes a time when comfort is no longer just a bonus, it becomes the foundation of how we live day to day. And when that comfort is thoughtfully woven into the space you call home, it creates something more powerful than just convenience. It creates ease, freedom, and a sense of control that no outside factor can take away. That kind of stability doesn't require a dramatic renovation. It only requires intention, kind that starts with asking, how can this space take care of me now, the way I've taken care of it for years? For some, adapting the home becomes a chance to rediscover joy in the spaces that have been overlooked. A corner that once gathered dust might become a favorite reading nook with just a lamp, a chair, and a soft blanket. A hallway that used to feel narrow and dim can be brought to life with new paint, a mirror to reflect light, or a family photo that brings warmth to your steps. These aren't superficial changes. They're invitations to make your home feel more alive, more welcoming, and more connected to the person you are today. And it's not just about what's visible. Peace of mind lives in the invisible details. It's the calm that settles in when you know you're less likely to fall during the night because there's soft lighting guiding your way. It's the reassurance that comes from being able to reach what you need without straining or worrying about losing balance. These layers of care add up quietly, day after day, until you realize that you're no longer bracing for challenges inside your own walls. You're simply living without the constant need to adjust, compensate, or make do. In many ways, these changes send a message not only to yourself but to others. They say, I'm still active, I still have goals, and I deserve a home that supports those things. It becomes a silent but powerful statement of self-respect. You're not adapting your space because you've given up. You're adapting because you're committed to staying engaged with life in every way that matters. And that message, whether spoken or felt, is one of strength. What often surprises people is how much lighter life feels after even a few small shifts. Tasks that used to require careful effort start to flow again. There's less hesitation in movement, less noise in your head about whether something is safe or doable. You begin to reclaim mental energy, the kind that lets you focus more on enjoyment, on a hobby, a phone call, a moment of quiet without concern buzzing in the background. A home that meets your needs doesn't just improve your body's experience. It frees up your spirit to stretch out and breathe. Another unexpected benefit is the sense of renewal that comes from making deliberate changes. When you give yourself permission to update, improve, or even replace what no longer serves you, you create space for a different kind of optimism. The idea that life is still unfolding, still worthy of care, still full of moments to be made better. That outlook carries into your mindset and influences how you approach not just your home, but your entire way of living. You start to see aging not as a slow narrowing, but as an invitation to reshape your world so it continues to feel full and generous. And perhaps most importantly, adapting your home can deepen your connection to it. Instead of becoming a place filled with memories that only live in the past, it becomes a place that supports who you are right now. It holds the memories, yes, but it also makes room for new ones, the laughter of a visit, the comfort of a good night's sleep, the ease of a routine that fits like a glove. This isn't about letting go of what was. It's about creating space for what still can be. If something you've heard today has sparked an idea or reminded you of a space in your home that could use a little attention, don't wait. You don't need a big plan or a contractor to get started. Begin with what feels manageable. Maybe it's moving a chair to a better position or adjusting the height of something you use every day. Maybe it's just walking through your home slowly and asking yourself what feels difficult that doesn't have to be. That small awareness is where the transformation begins. I'd love to hear how your home supports your life or what changes you've already made to make things easier. Share your story in the comments. It might be exactly the encouragement someone else is looking for. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. There's so much more we can explore together when it comes to creating a life that's both comfortable and empowering in your senior years. Here's to the kind of home that wraps around you like a well-worn sweater. A place that moves with you, protects you, and reminds you every single day that you are still growing, still adapting, and still in charge of how you live. You deserve a space that honors your independence, and you have the power to shape it.